Hey, what's happening everyone? Paul Ingram here, College Center. Just finished up my morning training session here. It's got about 3 hours in of training and just drying off from all the sweat. What I want to do in this video today is just kind of give you guys some training tips to help keep you focused in your training and progressing forward in your skill development. Alright, so I got 5 tips for you. They're pretty easy tips to follow. But sometimes the hard part is being consistent with them and just putting them into your daily practice. All right, so here we go. Number 1, make sure to always train with diligence and deliberation. Make sure that you're really focusing on the fine details of the tactics and the techniques and the attribute developments and all these things. And make sure that you have deliberation with everything that you're doing, every movement, every training, right? There's a purpose for every movement. There's a purpose for every drill. There's a purpose for every skill that is being developed. All right, so it's very important to follow training progressively. Here at College Center, we have a pretty strict curriculum, a pretty strict progress to our training, and how we really do things. As far as when we're training in person or through our inner triangle programs and things like that. Now that doesn't mean that if something grabs your attention from somewhere else in the training program, maybe like one of the more advanced levels or something like that, that doesn't mean, we still believe in fulfill that curiosity, but then make sure that you don't get lost in that and get back to where you are, get back to the skill that you are developing, and sooner than later, you're gonna get to that level where you're gonna be performing that, that stuff that you wanna reach. All right, so make sure, number 1, that you are training with diligence and deliberation. Number 2, slow practice leads to faster learning, where faster practice leads to slower learning. This is especially true in the beginning. When you are starting something brand new, it's going to be difficult. Everything is very challenging at first when it's brand new. But if you take your time, you go nice and slow, be methodical about it, and think your way through it. Think your way through the problems. And if you're going slowly, this is going to help enhance not only your physical mechanics and the coordination and eventually your agility and flexibility, and in the long term, you're going to perform faster and faster. It's going to help you get a much deeper level of understanding the knowledge, which then later on in your performance, when you are flowing around with another practitioner or you're sparring with another practitioner, it's going to allow your ingenuity to kick in and be able to perform well and solve all these different problems that are occurring between you and your training partners. All right, so practice slow in the beginning for faster learning development. And number 3, stay focused on and connected with your goals. Know what you're training for. If you follow a lot of my lives I do, like on Facebook or Instagram, you'll constantly hear me talking about these 2 questions. What's your purpose for training, and what do you want from your training? It's really important that you're staying focused and connected to your goals, to your training goals, whatever they may be. If you're training for self-defense, if you're training for fitness, whatever it is that you're training for, any level of personal development in any category area of that, make sure that you stay connected with that goal. So sometimes what happens in plateaus or people kind of start falling off is that they just lost that connection to why they are training in the first place. What are they training for? Why is it important to them? And how is it going to fit in with the rest of their goals that they have set for themselves and the standards that they've set for themselves. All right, so really make sure that you stay connected and focused on your goals. Even if that is you got to go and train outside, or you got to go go to a seminar and train with some other people or what, kind of refreshing some stuff, go for a hike, anything that you have to do what it takes to stay connected. All right, number 4 is emotions are just part of the learning process. So there's going to be times where you're going to feel really great and really empowered, and those are the easy times to just keep pushing and keep going. There's going to be other times that you're going to feel very frustrated, annoyed, maybe a little bit kind of demoralized. You know, especially like if you're training with someone that is just, you know, way above your league and they're just kind of mopping the floor with you. Sometimes, you know, that can alter different types of emotions. Sometimes that can be very inspiring and very like, holy cow, you know, this person is amazing. I can't wait to get to this level. Like, I want to train with them all the time. And then sometimes it can be very frustrating and kind of demoralizing, kind of degrading when you're just kind of, you know, getting your ass handed to you. Emotions are just part of the training. So make sure that you are taking time to kind of go through, sort out those emotions that you're feeling, whether it's frustration, whether it's joy, whether it's anger, whether it's whatever it is, positive and negative feelings, emotions. Make sure you take time to process those, recenter yourself, regather yourself, and then get back into the training. One of the things that we do here with College Center, especially with our students that train with us through the Inner Triangle and that train with us in person and things, is that we have very open communication, very open, very honest, brutally honest communication. So that way, if someone's feeling frustrated, if someone's feeling annoyed, if someone's feeling overjoyed, sometimes you can feel overjoyed and then you start messing up your timing, your range measuring, and all that stuff. So it's important that we can communicate, you know, what's going on with us, not only physically and mentally, but emotionally as well. Number 5 is consistent persistence, okay, which means train every single day. Daily training is absolutely critical when it comes to making continuous progress in your training. Now, you don't have to train for 3, 4, 6, 8 hours every single day, but it's really about not necessarily what you train all the time, but it's how you're training. That is the most important thing. You can be performing a drill, but not actually training the drill. You might just be doing the drill just to put, for the sake of putting time into the drill. But when you're training, you are making the decision to put a demand on your performance to perform higher with the skill that is being developed at that particular time in that particular drill. Right? And then bringing up your understanding of the knowledge base of those principles that are being applied. Later, that you can produce that into ingenuity when you are sparring around with your training partners, or, you know, if you needed to really use this stuff or anything like that for, you know, self-defense or whatever. But persistence is something that needs to be practiced. You know, in my belief, focus is a skill. Focus, you know, it's kind of like it's like an attribute. It needs to be developed. Right? Well, the same thing with persistence. It's very easy, like I said, when you got those inspiring and motivating emotions that are going on, and it's really easy to kind of fall off of the curve when you have more like those negative emotions that are going on. But you got to push through that. Just get up, start moving, even if it's the very basics. Just start very simple, start very slowly, but have that persistence training every single day, no matter what. Even if it's for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, or even if you can get 10, 15 minutes here, you know, that time does add up. We don't really measure our training time as far as years goes here at College Center. We measure our training time as far as hours goes. And that's really the most important thing. And again, it's not just the duration of time, but it's the consistency within that persistence. It's the consistency of your focus, the consistency of your effort, and the consistency of your persistence in your daily training. So make sure you train every single day, and make sure you're training every day with, again, the diligence and that deliberation. It's going to take you so much further. Start slow. All right, practice slow in the beginning to learn faster. And one of the things that I always tell my students, especially in the beginning, and something that I follow all the time, is that speed is not really developed in training. Speed is earned through proper training. So when your mechanics are good, you're going to feel slow in the beginning, right? When you're working on developing those mechanics and building that coordination, but you will get faster over time. Over time, if you're training the proper coordination with the mechanics, you will get faster striking with the proper mechanics than you ever could achieve striking with the imprecise or the incorrect mechanics. I guarantee it. So just get out there every day when you're training, right? Hopefully this list, put this to work, and these 5 tips here are gonna help you maintain your progress in your training every single day. And if you're really following these things and you're really putting these tips to work and you're training daily and things, you're gonna eventually get to a point where you're not really any longer having plateaus in your training. You know, you're just gonna be progressing every single day, and it makes it a lot more fun. It makes training so much more enjoyable. And you know, in my belief, you know, I'm kind of like of the mindset of Charlie Munger that, you know, the world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a bunch of undeserving people. And if you're training through the right process, you deserve the skill. And so you're gonna get it. You will achieve it. All right? So hopefully those tips help you out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like training Kali every day as much as I do, make sure to smash that thumbs up button, especially if these tips work for you. If you have any other tips to help out other Kali practitioners, go ahead and leave those tips, those training tips in the comments below. I'm gonna read all of them, and it's really great to just kind of help each other out within this community. It's pretty a small community when you really look at the overall of martial arts and everything else. So all the help that we can give each other, it's very much appreciated. All right, I'll see you guys next time. If you want to take your Kali training up to the next level with us here at Kali Center, head on over to KaliCenter.com. I got a link right below, and click on where it says Inner Triangle, and check out becoming an Inner Triangle member and student with Kali Center, so you can train with us progressively through the actual curriculum and process that we train and that we take our students through. All right, I'll see you next time for some more training.